Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, and Jennifer's in first. How are you? Great to have you here. Welcome to Tuesday. Hey, kitty. Great to have you all here on this terrific Tuesday. Tuesday, people. Tuesday already. Of week 42 and 43. 42/43. Welcome to Tuesday. How was your Tuesday? Tell me about your day. What are you grateful for today? I'm grateful to have you all joining here tonight. Grateful to have you all here. The Linda light is on. Hey, Linda. Great to have you here on this Tuesday evening. Hey, Deanne. Great to have you here from Arizona in the house. Arizona. Zach is here live. Woo! Good to have you. Good evening. Great to have everybody here. What are you all grateful for tonight? What are you all grateful for this Tuesday night? I'm grateful that the big stain that somebody thought we had on their desk that they came to pick up was just a spotlight. The way it was it was showing up on the desk. It was a weird angle of a light that was just hitting it just right and making the desk look like it had a stain on it. Hey, I like low cost of sales there. Low cost of sales, kitty. Yeah, we were busy today too. Can you say stimulus? Hello, Albuquerque. We shipped a package to Albuquerque today. Not to you, but to Albuquerque. There can't be that many more people there, right? Hey, Barb's here in Pittsburgh. Great to have you here live, Barb. Thrilled to have you live. It is good to have you here, everybody. I am grateful to have you here tonight on this Tuesday evening as we continue to work our way through January. The Sewells are having dinner. Very nice, very nice. Great to have you here, Jana and Dennis. What's for dinner? Well, we just finished dinner. Rebecca made dinner tonight, so that was nice. It was nice for Rebecca to make dinner, so that was very, very nice today. Hey, you can't sell what you don't have, Kelly, so that is great that you had several new consigners. It is a blessing. We have had a busy weekend of incoming. It's been a few days since I've been in. I think I was last in on the 1st, so 4 days since I've been in, we've had a lot of incoming consignments, so which is great. Pat and the Peanut Gallery are here, and Adele and Dazzle. Cooler weather. What does that mean? It was 70 today, Pat? I had to put in my hot hands in my gloves today. It was cold here. You wouldn't have done well with the temperature up here today. You wouldn't have done well. It was a cool day, and when the sun went down when we left tonight, I'm like, ooh, it's cold. I actually warmed up the car before we left. Hey, Julie Jankowitz, I thought of you today and meant to give you a call, but hope Dan is recovering well. And I hope all is well in Julie's world. With the wrapping paper still attached. You know, in different times, the gifts we would get right after Christmas, the things with the wrapping paper we would get right after Christmas, immediately after would be all the teachers in consigning. All the teachers would be in consigning. That they would have all sorts of teacher gifts, and some of it would be good stuff. As long as it didn't have a Christmas tree on it, it was fair game. Well, us guys, Melissa, can't buy nice gifts or buy the right gift. What do you want from us? What do you want from us? It's the thought that counts. Remember the thought? Now they can consign it and get what they did want to get. So this is a wonderful thing. They can consign and get what they wanted. So, it's all good. It's all okay. So I am good with that. So 72 in West Palm Beach. That is where I want to be. I'd like to be on the beach. Sipping my martini on the beach and just kicking back is what I would like to be doing. My peanut gallery. I need glasses. Peanut gallery. 35 this afternoon. Wow. Heat wave, kitty. Heat wave. Thank you. Come on down. All righty. Well, if I could get away from here, that would be a wonderful thing. If I could get away, I would love to be traveling again. I would love to be traveling again. I miss... This time last year, I was getting ready for a number of trips. Yeah, I mean, by next week, I was on the road last year. I had gotten everything to the accountant, and I was off and running. Hello from Texas, Kim. Great to have you here. Low 40s. I remember when I was there, one of the days I was there, Jennifer, I remember coming down in the hotel and everybody was shivering and bundled up in sweaters and everything else. And I went outside and I'm like, this is gorgeous. I thought I was going to freeze. It was gorgeous out. High of 49, a low of 19 with the wind. I can skip the wind. I can skip the wind. The wind isn't for me. Warm is all relative, Kitty. You say it well. You do say it well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we get this party started. Tonight, if you are following along in the book, we are on page Manuel Miranda, who we are less than 6 degrees of separation from. Less than 6 degrees. He still has no clue who we are, but we're less than 6 degrees of separation from him. Good morning. I wish you clarity today. Clarity of thought. Clarity of expression. And a direct line between what you feel and what you do about it. Boom. There you go, folks. There is your good morning. There is your good morning. Let's see what we got going on here. I liked this quote. Arrogance is thinking something is perfect after the first draft. Humility is knowing there's always room for improvement. Arrogance is thinking something is perfect after the first draft. Humility is knowing there's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Never stop improving. Never stop improving. But focus on progress, not perfection. So often we get caught up as business owners. This is what holds us back. Our drive for perfection, okay? You type A perfectionists, okay? Your drive to be perfect. Okay, to have everything perfect, just the right way, holds you back from making progress. It holds you back from making progress. And so the part of the mindset, again, as we're planning out 2021, as you are using January this year to make this the year of you, okay, where you control this year, is focus on progress, not perfection. It is, you know, you got to keep that ball moving forward. That is correct. I want you to be great, not good. But if you're making progress towards great, okay, that you do not get stuck up on being perfect. I want you to be great, okay? That is absolutely true, and that's a fair call. But I want you to focus on progress, okay? Because you can focus down on being great, okay, and to the extent that it holds you back, okay? That you are not making progress, that you are not in a forward motion. I want you to be in a continual forward motion. Okay, 2020, you know, was a hard year on you in which you moved and you pivoted and you changed and you regressed and you curled up in a ball at times. I mean, you had all sorts of different motions and movements in 2020. Hey, Michelle, great to have you here. Great to have you here. Michelle, you will be happy to know that someone at the car dealer in Virginia Beach decided, I think this guy might be a serious buyer. We should contact him. 5 days later. But focusing on progress, not perfection, helps you go from good to great. Okay? Because you can be really good while you focus to the 100th degree, okay, on making everything perfect. Okay? You can be really good. Okay? But that doesn't make you great. Okay? That because what happens is in your focus to on perfection, you get stuck. Okay, you get stuck in the mud. Okay, you get stuck in the weeds. You're looking at it all. I think, Kitty, you have the opportunity to get off the roller coaster, is what I'm saying. You have the opportunity to get off the roller coaster this year. Okay, and that's going to be a very good thing. So you're saying I should give these people a shot and not just not in my northern sense and ignore them. Hey, Krita, great to have you here. But when you focus on progress, making that incremental progress, slight edge change, not massive change, slight edge change, little tiny changes, just that little bit, okay, to keep things moving forward. And focus on progress, okay? What progress you are making, okay? What steps you are making, what new items you got on the website today, how many live videos you did this week, how many videos somebody else did, how many items somebody else loaded on the website. Yes, we can design our own roller coaster, but we don't need to. We can all meet at Resale Island and go on the rides there. You can do this. You can do this. You can focus on progress and making those incremental steps. Okay? But you can't if you're so focused on perfection. Okay? Perfection slows you from progress. It just does. It ties you up in that only you can do it. It ties you up in the way things are done, in the way that you help other people on your team see your vision, okay, and help you towards it, okay, help you succeed. But when you're always focusing on perfection with them, it holds you back, okay? It holds them back. And we wanna keep on moving this ball forward. We want to keep on moving you forward so that you can move from good to great, like I talked about last night. you can move and migrate, not only migrate there, okay, but move from good to great and sustain it. Hey, Nebraska Angie, how are you? You missed my quote today, Nebraska Angie. And when I read this quote today, I thought of you because I know you're big on all your drafts, okay? And you're always big on it. My quote of the day was, arrogance is thinking something is perfect after the first draft, which I know you don't. And humility is knowing there is always room for improvement. But I thought that was like Angie writing. Angie knows there's always another draft in her writing. She's always working on that next draft. But we need to strive. Think about that. So as you work from good to great, okay, you go from good, which, being a perfectionist, you can be good, okay, but building a team and growing your team, okay, allows you to go from good to great, okay, allows you to focus on progress, not perfection. 2021, okay? This is planning your 2021 because we want you to own 2021. Yes, Angie, always many drafts. That's why when I read that about somebody accepting their first draft as perfection, what did it say? Something is perfect after the first draft. I'm like, well, not my friend Angie. Angie doesn't accept it after the 100th draft, but you're going to focus on progress, not perfection. This allows you to grow your store and maintain a great organization. And that's an important part of what we're talking about here and how we grow and how we develop. Because I want you to develop the best store, okay? I want you to build back better. And I know I'm stealing from one presidential candidate and say we're going to make America greater again. Great, you're going to make your store greater. You're going to make your store greater than it was before. I really feel like, and part of me feels old, but this year, let me move away from presidential candidates because I think some of you, and I'm really surprised this hasn't been like a movie, with all the movie remakes you've got, or superheroes and everything else. You got Wonder Woman and Spider-Man and all these different things that are having their movies. Okay. What about the $6 Million Man? Does anybody remember that show? Okay. Lee Majors. Okay, the $6 Million Man, we're going to build him back better than before. Stronger, better, faster. Okay? That is what we are building back in your stores. We are building your stores, both brick and mortar, online, social. Okay? You're going to be the $6 million store. Okay? We are building your stores back. That's the mindset you need to have. We are building you back better than you were before. 2020 was about getting to the other side. Check. Okay. Good old Steve Austin. Yes. Okay. Okay. I know I'm dating myself. It's somewhere between the, Lee Majors, the Dukes of Hazzard, and the Fonz. Hey. Okay. I'm really stuck in a TV rut here. But we are going to build you back better than you were before, okay? And I know they run episodes. Oh, that's great, Kim. Oh, Kim loved the $6 Million Man. Really loved the smudgy stretch toy. And Kitty's been called the $6 Million Woman because of all Uh, Smushy toy. Sorry. Not smudgy toy, smushy toy. But that is what we are doing. We are building you back. We are building you back better than you were before. It is so important that we create this store that is better than it was before. Just get back to the way things were, okay, in pre-COVID times, okay? Your business back better than it was before. Better! There is so much more to your business and your store, and you are learning things, and now we've just got to implement them as we migrate from good to great, okay? And we migrate to focus on progress, not perfection. They both start with P. They both start with P, just like the 3 Ps of resale. Okay? But as we focus on progress, not perfection, it helps us move forward. It helps us take that next step. Build a better store. It helps us build built a store. Never stop changing. Never stop improving. Never mindset, okay? And it really is a mindset. That's what I'm really trying to get across here. It all starts up here. It all starts up here, okay? And yes, the 3 Ps of resale. Well, it's not just the PPP, okay? The government stole that from me. But my intellectual property on the 3 Ps of resale, okay? But the PPP is coming, okay? The second rising of the PPP is coming, and that is definitely coming, and it's coming to a bank account near you. It's coming to a bank account near you. Yes, you. But focusing on progress. I am hopeful that we have the information from the. I am expecting what I'm being told on that is we are expecting the release to the banks of information this week. Now, it's getting interesting with some of the local banks are trying to streamline things, but a lot of them use the back ends of some of the online firms that help them make all this happen. Because the new rules, because everything isn't out yet, they're worried that the local banks are actually going to take longer to be ready to take PPP applications because they're not going to process them manually like they did before. So that is a little bit of a concern. I think it's going to get over that quickly because there's not going to be a lot of changes. I'm not expecting a lot of changes to the application. The banks are really just pushing for that they can ask for proof of qualification, okay, the 25% down at application, because the banks do not want to end out with a bunch of 1% loans on their books. And I don't want you to have a loan. So if you aren't the 25% down, I don't want you to get one. Yeah, I am educating. I've been talking with a lot of accountants this week. I have been talking to a lot of accountants. We'll be talking more about the in the way that I'm expecting it to. It's going to be much easier, especially for somebody like you, Kelly, because I know what you've been through with your lockdowns in your area. And so we're going to have probably a whole night on the employee retention, probably a couple of nights on the employee retention tax credit. because there's gonna be a lot of you that are gonna be able to take advantage of that for other reasons than just the down. That's what the banks are waiting on. Depending on your area, some states require you to when you file your sales tax, they require you to file both what your taxable sales and your non-taxable sales were. So you're always reporting under pains and penalties of perjury to the state what your sales were for the month, both taxable and non-taxable. In those states, the banks are likely to ask for that. In other states, it'll be a variety of things, and ultimately, what the banks are trying to make sure of in this, as the SBA and Treasury are defining things, is that that the burden is on you, not on the bank. If the bank screws up, okay, if the bank verifies what you gave them, okay, so let's say you gave them a report that says you were down out of your computer system, and the bank says, yep, that shows you did this much sales in 2019 during one of the quarters and this much in 2020, and that's 26% different, that's fine. If you committed fraud in that, that's on you, not on the bank, is one of the you know, there's going to be, that's some of the fine tuning that they're doing right now. But keep in mind the government's goal, underlying goal, and this is not politics, although it's going to sound political. Okay, I am not taking sides on this political race here. Okay. The goal of the current administration is to get as much of this funding out to people while they nothing more than to fund every PPP and forgive PPPs while they are still in charge. It's not all going to happen, but that is the goal, is to get a lot of this money out quickly. The tax credit is designed to get out quickly, but that's probably late January, early February, because right now the IRS spends all their time in this few weeks on getting ready for April 15th. And so they're getting ready, all their stuff together for that. And there's a lot to get together. You got to keep in mind that and that is another economic issue that's about to happen. People are excited because of the stimulus payments. People aren't going to be excited when they don't get a big refund. You have a lot of people who've been on unemployment for the first time. A lot of states don't require that you have taxes taken out of unemployment, but it's still taxable income. And so you're going to have a lot of people that are used to getting a refund that may owe a little bit. Because they were on unemployment and they didn't have taxes taken out, or enough taxes taken out. So there's some headaches coming. Yes, I agree with you, Kelly. But I'm being told by my contacts that we'll have it this week. And so I'm expecting it. They like to drop stuff Friday night on their way out of town. I'm actually expecting it earlier than that this week. That SBA and Treasury are famous for dropping bombs on everybody. Is on their way out of the office on Friday. They hit the send button, and here's all the new regulations. But you know. The fintech firms, the Cabbages, the PayPals, all these people that did the online applications are like gearing up to get as many applications in as soon as they're able to with this, because they made boatloads of money on this. You know, a lot of banks made money on this, but it also took tremendous amount of resources, And the banks are getting back to normal to an extent, so they don't want to, spend all these resources. So they're waiting, they're patiently waiting what some of these things are saying. But I'm having regular conversations, and I am keeping my eyes on everything so that I am well in the loop on it. But I don't actually expect much of a difference in the application for the PPP. But do not apply. If you cannot say you were down more than 25%, do not apply. You will end up with a loan. Right, a lot of the banks are sending out preemptive emails, Julie. That's because they're getting so many calls about it. Because they're getting so many calls. People need the money. People need the money. And so they're getting calls about it. The other thing to keep an eye on, okay, to not beat Julie's point to death, but another thing to keep an eye on is grants. And why do you want to keep an eye on grants? Well, the states, as part of this most recent bill, got a boatload of money to give out and keep businesses within their state, to administer grant programs within their states to get money to support businesses. Are doing all sorts of different creative things with that money. Some of them are giving it out directly. Some of them are doing it based on down sales tax returns, okay, lower sales tax returns. Some of them are giving it to community development groups who are then administering programs. So there are a number of things that that the states are getting and starting to gear up with to be able to support businesses within their states and offer grants to their businesses. So keep an eye out for local and state grants. Be searching your area. If you're in Albuquerque, search Albuquerque business grants. If you're in, New Mexico, search New Mexico COVID business grants. And just be searching it on a regular basis and apply and apply and apply. And even if you don't think it's going to qualify for you or you don't think you're going to get it, apply. Let somebody else decline you. Don't decline yourself. Don't decline yourself. Are grants considered taxable income? They can be. They can be considered taxable income. It depends on where the grant came from. But look at it this way, Rose. If you end up paying taxes on it, and many of you are down, okay, or may even have a loss from last year, okay. If you are, even if you are taxed on it, Rose, it is free money. So even if you had to give a portion of that back to taxes, let's say you had such a banner year that you had to give a portion of that back to taxes, would that be the worst thing in the world for this free money? That that's like saying, you had to pay taxes. I won the Powerball, but I got to pay taxes, so it wasn't even worth winning the Powerball because now I have to pay taxes. Take the grant. Yeah, it really is. I've been really impressed with the states that are doing it based on the lower sales tax returns. And what's more is it's quick. Okay, they can get it out to businesses very, very quickly when a state does it that way. And I've talked to several states about it because when I first heard of somebody doing it, I thought it was really a smart idea. That during this period of time, a business was down. And if they exceed the percentage, they qualify. If they don't exceed, they don't qualify. And the state already knows where to send the money. They can just deposit it right in your bank account. It's a very smart way. Don't expect most states to do it, but some states are doing it that way. One of my things that I've been saying to the states that I've been talking to is that don't complicate a ham sandwich. Don't complicate a ham sandwich. I mean, I understand that you want checks and balances and everything else, but, the need is too great and you don't understand every business. No matter what you like, the two other things I've compared it to is like a will that controls everything from the grave. Okay, that doesn't do you any good, and it doesn't do any of the people that you're trying to give to good. And I also compared it to Rebecca in college. Rebecca in college, especially when she was in her own apartment, she had a monthly budget. Okay, she had a monthly budget. When her money was gone, it was gone. I didn't control the spend. You didn't get any more from me. Sad puppy eyes doesn't work, okay, any more than it's going to work with the state, okay? And, even though I could see how Rebecca was spending her money, and I'm like, you went out for wings again? And I would try to reserve my comments, but it really didn't matter because it was her money at that point. And whatever. And that's the way it worked. And so the states need to loosen up with this, because while they create complicated systems for giving this money out and review systems and all this other stuff, businesses are closing. And so they need to get the money in the hands of people, because that's going to save jobs, it's going to save livelihoods, it's going to save families, it's going to save communities. And that is incredibly important. And that is the job of government, to help support, save, and show their love for their community, and keep their main streets alive. So now's the time for them to vote for that. From the federal government to do good with it, and creating complicated grant processes is not the way to do it. Yes, they do, Kitty. Starving college students do learn about budgets, and Rebecca did a good job with it. I'm very proud of the job she did with it. Even though at some points in the month, and I would really try not to look because I didn't care. I had it there because it made my life easier to make. Fine never seeing it too, and just knowing that on the beginning of next month she'd as soon as I remembered it was the first, I would transfer money again. But yeah, it is a good experience, but the states need to understand that they can't control, that they don't know any more about my business than they know about the convenience store up the street or the restaurant across the street. Need is great, okay? The pain is great, the need is great, and the restrictions are hard. We're under a occupancy restriction right now at 25%, and that just, for most restaurants, for example, why bother? Well, why bother? I heard, from people of countless restaurants that have gone to only takeout or doing family style meals or just closing altogether right now. And I get it. A restaurant needs to average 75, 80% occupancy and be flipping those tables constantly. I was friends with the chief, though. So we were all good, Serving as the president of the Parents Association had its privileges. It was all good. It was all good. the state grants, and there hasn't been. I'm hoping that as some of the state and local grants roll out, that I'm able to get a better database of them. But really, just keep a really sharp eye on your local area, because there are all of these popping up, and I can't keep up on all the local ones. It is very. I just can't keep up with all the local ones. I'm hoping for an updated database of some of them, but even then, that's a little late. It would do you well for your county and your state, and search COVID grants, and make that every couple days you pop that into Google and just see if anything is new. I know that sounds like a lot of work and everything else, but the grants are out there. Julie has taught us all well. Keep on knocking on the grant door. On the PPP and the employer retention tax credit as soon as I have all that. But that's going to be, if what I get, I'm expecting, there's going to be some real good advantages for you for that. Yeah, the local chambers, I mean, again, membership has its privileges, people. Keep in contact with these organizations. I mean, the local organizations that will keep you on top of these things, and can really help not only keep you abreast of these things. A lot of these organizations will help you apply for them. I mean, help you go after these grants. I mean, it is about community, and there's no better community business in your community than yours. Okay? Don't feel guilty about it. Just go after it. Just go. That's the biggest thing. I've talked to some of you, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to get that one, so I'm not going to go for it. Or I don't think I fully qualify. I might qualify, but I don't think so. Do not, exclude yourself out of that. Okay? Do not self-exclude. Let somebody else tell you no. That's okay. It's one step closer to a yes. Do not tell yourself no. Okay? Not. Progress. And progress is a healthy bank account, or at least a breathing bank account right now. So we wanna focus on that progress. We do. This video and everything I talk about every night goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the very next day. Noon the very next day, I tell you. All the files, everything I talk about, including a direct link to this video on the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share it with your friends, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, whatever their business is. We want to help them get across the finish line. All right, Linda got a grant from Palm Beach. Woo woo! That's awesome, Linda. Congratulations. I am here every night at More 8 Than Ish, live in the Narts private Facebook group. If you have a question in between, you just email me. Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night on the Good Morning Good Night book. The Evening Good Night book is how we start this program. If you were not here on the top of the program, our good morning today was good morning. I wish you clarity today. Clarity of thought, clarity of expression, and a direct line between what you feel and what you do about it. Our good night tonight is good night. I wish you clarity tonight. Clarity of self, clarity of purpose, and a direct line between who you want to be progress, not perfection. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, and I will party with you. I promise you that. I promise you that. Oh, that's awesome, Michelle. You enjoy your ham sandwich. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate it. That's not even my joke. I say, yeah. Closing here tonight. Michelle got me off there. But I got that saying from Sonia Nix, okay? And, we were working, I'm sitting there in her office working with her on her business. And, her father was doing some of her books and stuff. And she's like, that man could freaking complicate a ham sandwich. And I'm just like, alrighty, I'm going to use that. I love that saying. I love that saying. And it's just great. Hey, Patty and Rose, thank you. But when we can party again, I will party with you. I promise you that. I promise you that. I do. But until then, know that you and you, but most importantly you're not alone running this store. It's time for dessert, everybody. Hopefully I don't mess it up like I did last night, and it was not pudding that I got out of the refrigerator for Cassandra. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.